Sup, boys? So, with the child rerun banner, basically Rosaria coming out very, very soon, it looks like in about, 5 days, 12 hours, roughly from the time that I'm recording this. Before the banner goes live, there are a couple of things that you could probably be doing to prepare if you do plan on getting Rosaria. Now, she is a 4-star pole arm user, which means that being 4-star, she's not going to be super difficult to get. Hopefully, if you are looking for multiple constellations of her, then this won't be too difficult for you. She is going to be rated up, of course, so that's going to be good. Now, as far as her Ascension stuff, everything is farmable as of right now. You can go ahead and start fighting against that cryo flower, and you can start getting some of these jades here. You can also start getting these hoarfrost things, whatever those are called, and you can start, pretty much getting those up. All these valberries. Yeah, Lisa and Noelle also use those, so if you have an abundance of those, you should be squared away. And she actually does use these Fatui things, these insignias. Yeah, that kind of sucks. I hate farming those, but they're there. Now, I will put up a picture over there somewhere. Over there? Yeah, over there. I'll put up a picture that I made a while back, and I'll repost this post so that it's a little bit more relevant to you guys. But if you guys want to check the community tab, there's a nice image. Or if you want to go into the Discord, it's also in there. Hey, if it's in the Discord, I can just show you. I'm a dummy. Look, here we go. Boom, there it is. Don't mind my nasty photo. I can't do good, okay? Look, I try. Here is everything that you would need if you are looking to completely max out Rosaria at a certain level. So if we are going A4, which is 60 out of 70, here's all of the materials that you're gonna need in total. Now this is A4, 60 out of 70 with max talents to that specific ascension. So this means that this would be 666. If we go to A5, that would be 70 out of 80, and that would end up meaning that you could go 888 on all your talents, and then A6 is level 80 out of 90 with level 10s on all your talents, and obviously level 90 is completely maxed out with all your talents to level 10. I didn't go above 10 just because I don't know, and you got to be a madman if you're going to go any deeper than that. But yeah, some of the materials like the experience is rounded up one, so it actually accounts for extra. You need 414 of the purple, 13 of the red, and then it's 14 of the small ones, but there's like a couple hundred XP that you would also need from just going around killing monsters. You don't have to do that, obviously. You don't have to waste this 15th one. If you don't want to, you could just go fight some mobs and take an hour or two to actually get her to level 90. But hey, that's up to you. Now, since she is a cryo pole arm user, you might be asking yourself, well, what kind of builds am I going to be looking at for? What is she going to be good for? Well, so basically her talents point to her kind of being built in two distinct directions. You'd basically want to go either a full-on physical Rosaria, or you may want to build a cryo Rosaria. There is a third option where you kind of build her into a quick swap team. You kind of try to do like some reverse melts and stuff. We're not going to talk a lot about that because I'd like to get my hands on her before I really like go into some more in-depth stuff. But basically, the two directions that I would recommend you kind of trying to think about before you get her and kind of try to get an idea of what you want to do with her is either go for physical Rosaria or cryo Rosaria. Depending on which one you go with, there's kind of a couple of weapons that already have been mathematically kind of calculated to be better versus worse for her. Now, keep in mind, all these numbers are very, very preliminary after she comes out. If anything changes, these numbers are obviously going to change, but pending that they say the same, this is a general idea of how good certain things can be. And then there's also a lot of math taking into account some new stuff that's coming out in 1.5 that we don't have yet. So I'm not going to talk too much about that kind of stuff, but I will at least point you in the direction that if you are on the fence about getting a crescent pike, if for whatever reason you don't have one at this point, go ahead and grab one of those because it's going to be an amazing weapon on pretty much every polearm user that we have. There's not a polearm user that does bad with it. It is a great free-to-play option, and it's going to be no different on Rosaria. It's going to be one of the weapons that is just amazing. Like, it's just so good, dude. I'm just going to be showing you Zhang Ling here really quick. If you wanted to craft one of these, you definitely could. Mathematically, it does seem like this was going to be slightly worse. The big difference between the Crescent Pike and the Dragon Spine Spear is the way that the attack and the bonus that you get off of each of these are calculated. The way that the scaling works out is Crescent Pike ends up edging it out in many scenarios and just ends up making it better, especially after you pick up like an elemental orb or a particle, you know, dealing extra damage for just your normal and charged attacks. Like, this is just amazing. It's really good. This is hit or miss because of the way that this works. Sometimes it has the misfortune of missing the opponent. Basically, you just, sometimes you hit it, sometimes you don't. And because it's not necessarily like a guaranteed thing, whereas this, as soon as you pick up an elemental orb or particle, you're going to have a bonus on top of your attacks for 5 seconds. And that's just great. This is a hit or miss because sometimes you're going to hit it. And if you hit it, then, you know, you get, you know, a little bit of damage off. And if they're affected by cryo, you get a little bit more damage than that. But honestly, this is definitely your safer bet. I'm probably going to be messing around with Crescent Pike primarily. I do like the idea of having physical Rosaria. I think that's probably the way that I'm going to go, but you know, we'll just have to see how good that actually turns out. Now, if you do spend a little bit on this game and you do have maybe like a battle pass weapon or something like that, deathmatch is actually going to be one of the better options on her as well. If you're going for pure physical Rosaria, it doesn't really do as hot according to the math that I've seen, but cryo Rosaria definitely benefits a lot from having deathmatch. Blackcliff Pole also seems really good. If you want to start working on a particular weapon, both the Crescent Pike and Deathmatch are going to be very solid options to start working on. They should be really good. And then, I mean, honestly, like after these two, any 5-star weapon, of course, is going to scale insanely good. But also something pretty interesting to note, whenever you're building her, she has a ton of crit rate built into her talents. So after Ascension, she gets crit rate from attacking an enemy from behind. That's actually really cool. Casting her Elemental Burst is actually going to give you a little bit of crit rate for your other party members. She's not included in this. It's very interesting that crit rate bonus gain this way cannot exceed 15%, so that's kind of unfortunate. But it gives you 15% of her crit rate for 10 seconds. So if you had 100% crit rate built into her, then you can give 15 to your other team, but that's kind of cool. But yeah, she has crit rate kind of built into her kit, and even throughout her constellations, when she deals a critical hit, her attack speed is increased. Ravaging Confessions, critical hit, regenerates 5 energy. And then Shredding Physical Resistance is just going to be so good, dude. It's going to be so good. Pairing her with Zhongli and just ripping physical resistance in half is just going to be amazing, dude. I'm going to love it. Yeah, so just kind of like your general checklist to get ahead of the curve here, definitely go start farming your cryo flower if you haven't already. Definitely start grabbing those Val berries if you haven't already, and start fighting some of those Fatui agents. I'm pretty sure I have all of my materials farmed up for her. I am pretty much ready to go. As soon as she comes out, I will be gun-ho. I'm actually getting ready to go on vacation, so I will be back shortly before she comes out, and by the time she comes out, we are going to be good to go, boys. We are going to be ready. I am going to go in on her. I don't think I have too much pity built up right now, maybe like 2 pages. I'm not hopefully going to get a child super like early. I hope I don't break pity. I actually want to hold off and kind of get like Rosaria in the first couple of multis and then not summon anymore, so that I can save pity for something that's coming out in 1.5 that I don't really want to get in trouble for talking about. So that's pretty much going to be it for today, boys. I am super excited for Rosaria. I'm ready to get my hands on a new character because at this point 1.4 is it's a nice little break for me because I'm not really doing a whole lot. Pretty much just doing dailies and kind of writing a D&D campaign. I did actually just start a series for 5-star members of the channel. If you kind of want to help support me in a big way, you definitely think about joining the members of the channel. You just either go into the description and click on the members link, or just click the join button on the channel page. That definitely, you know, helps me out a ton. I'm still trying to work out some different ideas for like content that you guys would exclusively get to see. Right now we do have a series started where I'm going through the entire story because I skipped everything in the story the first go around. So you guys keep talking about how good it is, and I kind of don't want to be left out of that. I'm definitely thinking of releasing videos early to you guys so that you guys will see them before everyone else would, but I gotta kind of get ahead of my schedule, and there needs to be content for me to make so I can do that. But yeah, just throwing that out there. If you want to help support me in a big way, that'd be great. Otherwise, no big deal. You guys are awesome either way. I'm going to stop rambling now. I'm going to go ahead and head out. I'm going to go do my dailies really quick, and hopefully you guys have a good rest of your weekend. I will see you later.